Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for this week's reading. I will be working with the Psychic Tarot to see what messages are coming through. As always, these are general readings, so these readings may or may not resonate with you. Having said that, let's get right into it. I just have some sage burning in the background in case you're wondering. So let's get to it. Let's see what Spirit wants to bring through for this week. Messages need to come through for the collective. Okay, as I'm shuffling, the message that I'm getting is not to hold back and to open ourselves up. And this message is not only for you guys, but I think for myself as well in my work and in everyday life, to kind of not hold any of the energy back and allow full expression of ourselves. 3 cards, please. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull it randomly as I feel guided. This one wants to come out. I feel one more. Okay, so I'm going to show you the cards, first starting off with fertility. Okay, and I like to always kind of compare with tarot. So for this card is the Empress card in the tarot, and this is all about growth, expansion, and new ideas. Giving birth to new ideas is what I'm getting with this card. So what I'm feeling with this is you already know what you have to do. Okay, you already know what you have to do. You already have that. Some of you just have this this idea or the seed in your mind, and it's not fully informed right now. But what I'm getting is to nurture that idea, to allow it, you know, to give birth to that idea, to come into your own completion is also what I'm getting. And with this energy, the Empress energy is very abundant. Okay, so when you follow your heart, when you follow your truth, when you follow your ideas, you're automatically gonna be a magnet for abundance. Okay, so when you follow what your calling is, when you follow your truth, and like I said, when I was shuffling, I felt allowing ourselves to be ourselves and not withholding that energy. So with this, I'm feeling like the more you align with your heart, the more you align with your truth. And if you see, it's like her lower chakras as well as her heart and her crown, it's all aligned, it's working in harmony. And this is bringing the abundance into your life. Okay, so the number 3 also to me signifies mind, body, spirit, working in partnership with spirit, and that's going to bring expansion into your life. The very next card we have is hope. Okay, and I'm not sure if I feel this is the Sun card in the tarot, but I'm just going to go with it intuitively. Again, with this card, you're getting a lot of inspiration, you're getting a lot of ideas, and you are protected. You are protected. For some of you, I'm also getting with this card, you don't have all the answers. You don't know how things are gonna turn out. And you know, we're always taught to have a complete plan, or to do the logical thing, or to do things that, you know, that makes sense. Like you want to know from step 1 to step 2 all the results. Is it gonna work for me? Is it gonna be this? Is it gonna be that? But with these 2 cards, I'm getting a lot of trust with this card. Like you may not know what your next step is, but do you have the trust and the faith that you will be protected, you will be guided, you will be given what needs to come through for you? So with this card, I'm getting don't lose hope. You have a lot of protection, you have a lot of guidance, but even in the darkest moments when you do not have all the answers, do you have that hope? Do you have that faith that everything is for my highest and best and I'm on the right path? So you may be tested on the path. Okay, just saying, because that's what I'm feeling. And you may not have all the answers, but do you have that faith and spirit that you will be guided no matter what? Now the third card, interestingly, we have is deception and envy. This is the Seven of Swords card. Definitely not one of my favorites in terms of tarot as well, but what I'm getting, I'm just going to read it energetically. Okay, now right away what we feel is some people may be deceptive, or some people may be envious of this energy that you hold, because as you can see, this person has a mask. So there are a lot of people who are not living in their true potential. Okay, when they're not living in their true potential, when they're not in their truth, and they see someone who is working in alignment with spirit, in alignment with their heart, in alignment with their truth, it's not that they become deceptive or envious. It could be, but you know, it triggers a lot in them. It also triggers the fact that you remind them of them not being in their truth, and that triggers a lot in them. Just because when I look at these cards from the angle that I'm seeing, it's almost like this person is looking at her and he's envious of what she has. But what I'm getting is, even if you have people who are envious of what you have, you stand in your truth, you stand in your light, you be aligned with the light, and in doing so, you know, light always has the power to transmute all negativity, and there is a reason that you are where you are. I'm also getting that by you being yourself, 7 is a life path number. Okay, you're gonna trigger in them their spiritual life purpose. When you are working for the light, when you are on your soul's purpose, soul mission, you're gonna trigger a lot in people. They start questioning, okay, so you know, when this is something that they question when they're alone, they're reflecting and they're like, okay, so she's working on her life purpose, or he's working on his life purpose. What is my life purpose? How come I've never questioned that to myself? How come I've never... And you know, it's not easy to be in this Empress energy, because for those who have reached that energy or are working towards it, as you understand, spiritual journey is not easy. It's gonna bring up a lot of stuff to work on, guys. It's not always about love and light. It's also about the shadow aspects within us that we are working through. So when people who have a lower consciousness, or people who have never done their work, if they want to do this work, they know that a lot will be triggered in them. They have to process a lot of things. They have to process a lot of internal wounds that they have pushed aside, or they're not wanting to work through. However, when I look at these cards together with these two combination and this one like this, I just feel your light triggers a lot in a lot of people. And that's not really a bad thing, because I feel everything in the universe, whether you call it bad or good or dark or light, it's serving a higher purpose, and it's supposed to be, and everything is in alignment no matter how we look at it. So that's how I feel with this card. And just because somebody says something, does something, looks at you a certain way, says something which is not feeling right, doesn't mean that you stop shining your light, doesn't mean that you dim your light or you stop being your true self. So the message that I'm getting is, even if there are people, situations, or blocks on your path, you keep doing you. You keep shining your light. You follow your truth and your path, because there is a purpose for everyone, whether they are in alignment or they're not, or they're sleeping, or wherever they are on their journey. We wish them well and understand that they will awaken when it's their time. But you're supposed to be here at this time for a purpose, for a reason. Lastly, we have financial and material changes. So for a lot of you, yes, maybe for some of you, but I'm feeling you leaving jobs. When I look at these two cards, you're leaving jobs that were deceptive, that were not in alignment with your truth, and you had to wear a lot of masks in those environments. You had to be someone who you're not. That's the other thing that I'm getting, is you're tired of pretending to be following a path that is not in truth and harmony with yourself. And because now you are listening to your inner calling, 5 is a number of great changes. It can bring some difficulties, but it also brings about a lot of changes. So this is like what I'm seeing this as different pathways, different choices. So the choices that you were not aware of, or maybe just like this card, maybe you were wearing those masks and you were not willing to see those options. Now you're taking off this mask. Now you're ready to look at these options, and now you're ready to move forward, and this opens a lot of doorways for you. When I look at these cards together, I feel you have a lot of opportunities, especially with these two cards. You have a lot of opportunities, and you are realizing your own power. With these two cards, I'm also feeling is stop being deceptive with yourself. Use your mind to create more positivity. Don't go into lower energies which keep you stuck and get you back in those old patterns where you have to think less of yourself or be less of yourself. Know that you have the potential for so much more if you follow your truth. You are being led in a new direction. There are many options, not just one, and these doors are going to open for you once you align your energy with your truth and the universal energy. Know that this universal energy is available to all, and when you tap into that energy, there is no limit. There is no limit to your options. It's only when you come from a 3D consciousness, lower consciousness, that you feel limitation, that you feel competition, that you start comparing yourself with others, that you have to be jealous or you have to feel less than. That's all lower consciousness. Know that you have a choice to raise your consciousness and feel the infinite possibilities that this universe has, and hone your gifts, okay, and bring those forward. So that's what I'm getting. Choices, decisions within your own mind, and that is a reflection in your own life, and you will see it manifest yourself once you start aligning yourself on your path, on your truth. So I wish you guys the best. I hope you guys have enjoyed this reading. I will see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in.